for later on. Excuse me. Again, Shalom, Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakodaj. We're going to say it again. Just because of the title, I think I might have to bring it out in this translation. So I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakodaj. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the like-minded men. A mighty shalom to the hopeful elect who are scattered four corners of the earth in the same spirit, Lord willing that you all continue to endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwatiyam, believers of this faith and this truth. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. Shalom to the brother, Yahweh Shemashai Brakatah, Yahweh Shemashai Brakatah. You see the title? This is just quick, this is quick, straight to the point. We about to start camp and, just trying to feed the sheep that's on the channel and motivate any brother that's in this thing, any brother that's eventually coming in this thing, even sisters. Stand your ground, right? Because don't think that you're going to come in this thing and you're not going to get hit from certain winds, right? And coming in this thing, you're going to, with these social media apps, you're going to see people bumping against this truth. You're going to see people saying that they Yahushai. You're going to grow in spiritual anger, right? The spiritual anger is for this place to be destroyed. So stay in your ground because you have to be alert. People are getting removed out of this truth. You don't want it to be you. Stay in your ground, right? It's times where I can feel like I'm doing good. I might even take a break, but even if not doing the video in your mind, even doing videos or not, you have the mindset, I'm not doing good enough. That's the mindset you want to have, just like the title. Those that humble themselves will be exalted in the end. You want the Lord to exalt you. You don't want your ego, right? Oh man, I teach, I do the most. You don't want that to grow your ego, right? Because everything you're doing is for the Lord. Because I'm about to say I guess these verses have to come out for camp. You have to push for this profession that the Lord chose you for, right? When you look up profession, it goes into a public declaration, right? And you really did this in front of the eyes of the Lord and the angels. So I want to get this because this goes into Azariah, Mishael, and Hananiah when they stood their ground to not serve the image of Nebuchadnezzar. And this is us standing our ground now because when this MOTB come, we're going to see who's been faking the funk because you need to be standing your ground today, right? Seeing a brother the other day got sifted out, out of this truth. This is not no game. So you want to stand your ground. Yep, that's through the Spirit. I was going to bring that out. 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, verse 58. I got it in the Amplified too. It says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye stand fast and unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, and for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. When you I don't know if anybody on here seen Jumanji, the first Jumanji movie, when they would play the game, soon as it was another person's turn, the other person couldn't even move the piece. That's being unmovable. When you read it in the Amplified Bible, 1 Corinthians 15:58, it says, therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters, be steadfast, immovable, always excelling in the work. You got to always excel in the work of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, always doing your best and doing more than is needed being continually aware that your labor, even to the point of exhaustion, in the Lord is not futile nor wasted. It is never without purpose, right? Even say if you're not doing a lesson and you reading three chapters, right? You even gotta. It's times where after I get done reading, an hour later, I try to reminisce on, do I remember? Did I learn anything from what I read? Was I into it? If I can remember it, right? And then you have the notion on marking where you read at, because you got to do a continual thing when you're not, entertaining the things that you like or the things that you do, right? You apply yourself to spiritual things, right? Again, like it said, always doing your best. When it comes to teaching, you want to do your best. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-minute video, 6-minute video, 7-minute video, because to do your best, you have to know on the other end, you're feeding the sheep. Everything is accountable because the eyes of the Lord is watching you. You want your steps to dictate what the Lord really put you on this earth for. It says doing more than is needed. So like how the Prophet Tahir be telling brothers in his camp, if you ain't doing 3 videos, you're gonna get removed. Yo, even if you're doing 3 videos, you'll see in between time that you can do more, right? It's about feeding the sheep. You're always looking at the end result. The end result is feeding the elect as much as you can, right? Because all these lessons is building up spiritual characters in Jake. Men, women. Sometimes it might seem like we getting on the women, but every day brothers is getting on men of this faith, even if it don't look like they getting on them. This word is unisex. So it's really hitting all the believers, mainly the men of the Lord that's in this thing. If you teaching wrong or bringing something incorrect, every lesson damn near is towards men, right? Because that's how we build a foundation with the men, right? If you claiming to be a man of the Lord, this lesson is for you, right? If you claiming to be a daughter of Yahweh Shemashai, this lesson is for you. If you a child of the Lord, like, your children, right? This lesson is for you. Right, these things build up character. We all should be unmovable, and we all should be holding our ground on that solid foundation, and even to the point of exhaustion. Yeah, you could be worn out. You gotta read. You gotta have your mind. That's what it does, but it helps us from stay away from sin or entertaining spirits, and then eventually going off. You know, but let's get this. This is Daniel chapter 2, starting at 14. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dew chamber, and all kinds of music, if ye fall down and worship the image which I have made, well, if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning furnace, of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? Shadrach, Shemach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. Right? The obstacle that we have in front of us, regardless if it's the MOTB or Jacob's trouble, the elect is going to get delivered, regardless of how terrible this thing is going to look on this side. The Lord is going to deliver his elect the same way he did for the men of the Lord, even in this time, right? Let me get a side precept. This is Sirach 2 and 10. Sirach 2 and 10, it says, Look at the generation of old and see, did ever any trust in Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? So if you have the elect and you was calling on the Lord, even in our past history, the Lord always came through. They wasn't confused. Oh man, our Lord is gonna save us, and then he don't, and then you what you gonna curse out the Lord, right? And give up faith? No, you're gonna hold firm, hold firm on the foundation that's Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? So it's nobody in past tense that was calling the name of the Lord and was forsaken, right? Even though, hey, you can have moments where the Lord might take a day to answer you, or he might take a few minutes. Shoot, he might take a week to answer you. The Lord is never early, never late. He's always on time. Joseph was praying in the prison. And really, all that was to benefit to usher in his dream that he had before he even got into Egypt, you know? So they said, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from this fiery furnace, and he's going to deliver us out of the hand of the king. The same thing he did back then, the Lord is going to deliver us from the MOTB, deliver us from Jacob trouble, and deliver us from these test tube monkey Edomites, right? You got to have faith in it. Oh, man, you think somebody going to save you, brother? Brother, man, as soon as you tap into the Lord, you'll become a true guy. Y'all, people think we teaching that fairy tale, but y'all sound like a damn fairy tale. People say they believe in the power, but they don't believe that the power is the way of the described in the Bible. You got some that, I read the whole Bible. You know what I'm saying? It contradicts itself. No, the Lord made it seem to you as a contradiction, because the Lord knew in your heart you don't believe. The Lord knew that you wouldn't be stand fast in this thing. The Lord knew that you wouldn't hold firm to the foundation. He knew. You fumbled the bag. This is a spiritual bag men and women is fumbling. Right? Verse 18, it says, but if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Right? And this is the example. They said, our God is going to deliver us. Yahweh Shem Rashai is going to deliver us. And he's going to deliver us from your hand. And even if he don't, we still won't worship your God. That's standing firm on this foundation, holding firm to your faith, because they said he can deliver us, and he gonna deliver us from you. But if he don't, we still ain't worshiping your God. That's the mindset you gotta have when this MOTB come. This is the system of, I got you. That's the system they want to have you, because they want to control you. They want to look like you looking at them as a God. You can't live, you can't do nothing without them. No, you got to hold firm to this. That's where your hope and your faith, believing in what you don't see. You knowing it's real. You knowing the past and the scriptures actually happen. This is real, right? 19, it says, then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Sirach and Meshach and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bid Sirach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the very furnace. Cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, in their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took Sirach, Meshach, and Abednego. Right? And these 3 men, Sirach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound into the midst of the fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astounded, and rose up in haste, and spake, and said unto his counselors, did not we cast these 3 bound men into the midst of the fire? Then answered and said unto the king, true, O king. Then he answered and said, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the 4th was like the Son of Man. Right? And this thing, Yahushua is always with his elect, man. The Lord is always with his elect. This is why we have to trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. I think it's Psalms 37. The weapons of the enemy shall fall on themselves. Damn, this is a good one too, but it's not the one I really wanted. I'm gonna still read it though. The weapons of the wicked. The weapons. Is giving me, let's see if this is the one. Let's just read this one. This is Psalm 64 verse 5. It says, they encourage themselves in evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Right? The enemy is laying traps. But you know, in these traps, they are encouraging themselves in evil matters. Right? When you even look at the time of Daniel and even Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, it was people observing them not bowing down to the image. You know, coming in this truth, when you see in the scriptures, the elite is going to come against the men of the Lord. The same thing of old, right? Because this is a problem towards the wicked, this wicked system, right? Through the spirit, anybody that's truly in this thing, you're really going against the wicked's ministry, right? You're going against the wicked's ministry. That's what you're doing. You're going against the wicked ministry, right? What they have set up in their system, right? This is Psalms 37, and I think it's not the one I wanted. Oh yeah. Yeah, let's read this one. Psalms 37 verse 7. It says, rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Right? So we got to rest and be patient in the Lord. And being patient in the Lord is occupying in your faith. Right? Hold your faith on the Lord. Right? Just imagine you have a faith in the Lord and some terror is about to happen to you and you believing in the Lord, and so a miracle or the Lord make a person drop dead, or you can't be seen, or out of nowhere they change their mind. You know, the little spiritual moments that you have in this society now, seeing chariots, the same thought you see in 144, those little, it's a coincidence how those happen. You have to know the Lord is always dealing with the righteous, right? So dropping down to verse 9, it says, for evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon Yahweh, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. Guess what? Even when they turned the temperature of that furnace, what happened? The fire came out and burnt those men that put them in there, right? And even later on, what happened to Nebuchadnezzar? He was supposed to glorify the Lord, but he glorified himself that he builded Babylon. The Lord made this man fall from his stature, man. The Lord made that man fall from his stature and crawl like a damn animal, right? It says, but the meek shall inherit the earth and shall delight themselves in abundance of peace. The wicked plotteth against the just and gashes upon him with his teeth. Yahweh shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming, right? And this is for us now. The same that they did back then, the Lord is laughing at you damn wicked in Israel and you wicked of the other nations, starting with Esau. The Lord gonna get your ass. But Jake, you need to stand firm. Stand firm in this thing, right? It's things that's meant to knock you down. When we go, I thought I was gonna bring this out for camp, but I don't think I am. It's spirit set up. Like the elder Yashawamba, when they did their class this week, he was saying, he was laughing. He was like, even the spirits is saying, it's my turn. It's my turn to temple, right? They going back and forth on who week or who day it is. And you see it. You'll see Jake in his walking in his faith, and then the next day this person go off, and then the other person, it's the spirit saying, no, it's my turn to go off. No, it's your turn to go off. So when you look at 1 Kings 22, when the spirit said, I'll persuade Ahab's prophets to tell him a lie, it was that spirit turn. Even though they was counseling with the Lord, who's going to persuade them? Who's going to do it? The Lord wanted to know the details, right? The same with Job. That Satan was picked to tempt the faithful servant, right? Guess what? It's another angel was set up to tempt Yahushai. Imagine that conversation in the spirit world. Yo, I'm gonna need you to tempt me and do all these things. No angel was just doing that on his own. He had to have a counsel with the Lord, right? And we'll just read that real quick. So just like Nebuchadnezzar doing what he did to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? That was all a heavenly conversation, and it played out on the earth to test their faith. The Lord been giving us the examples, what we just read in Sirach 2 and 10, just for us to build our faith. The brother dropped a precept. He said, Revelations 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. Shalom, Gabar, Ya'ala, right? Yahweh Shai Brakatah, right? Because we kept the word of the patience, the Lord is going to keep us from temptation. That main temptation, that our temptation is the charagma, the MOTB, this new system of the new world order, right? Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All these prophecies is pointed to the Israelites. You other nations, if you do take it or if you don't, it doesn't matter. But for you Israelites, it matters if you take it or not, because those are the ones that are patient. Those are the ones just holding on, being patient. When you go into, because thou has kept the word of my patience, those are the ones that's holding firm to what you got. It might look, oh man, the Lord not here tomorrow. He not here next week. He not here next month. Man, we went through this whole year. He still didn't come, but we seen signs. Don't give up. When you see in these scriptures, everything did not just happen in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4, 5. It takes a minute. The Lord works in order. When you playing chess, you move a piece at a time. Soon as you touch it, that shit got to get moved. The Lord is making precise moves, right? So this 1 Kings chapter 22, reading verse 19, it says, and he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting in his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. The right hand is the righteous angels that handle the righteous matters in the earth and in the heavens. And then the left side handles the sincere things in the heavens and in the earth, right? The left side goes into the word in Latin, sinister. And sinister means left hand or left side. You can go look it up in etymology. It has multiple meanings, but it means left side, right? It says, and Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And they came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him, right? And you could keep reading if you want, right? It's spirits that's telling the Lord that they're going to persuade you to do righteous, feed you to teach you this, or, oh, I'm going to persuade him to see if he's faithful. Oh, I'm going to test him with his old habits, right? What old habits that you slip and do, is the left hand coming. But you got to think of Matthew 12, right? When those unclean spirits leave you, the unrighteous spirit leave you, make sure you're furnishing your house with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, things that pertain to the Lord. Galatians 5 and 25, right? If we live in the spirit, we must also walk in the spirit. Sometimes you might not even be on the fire in the spirit at that moment. Don't give room for the left hand side to come. And then when it leaves, you're not furnishing it. You're just staying idle. You're too comfortable. Soon as that unclean spirit, that doubt spirit leave you, you have to constantly feed the righteous spirit in it, right? So now we see spirits is having counsel with the Lord. Genesis 28, verse 10 to 12. The angels is ascending and descending from the heavens and to the earth. They're still doing it. They're still doing it today, right? Let's go into Yahushua, right? These angels were set up. So you have to know when it goes into Ephesians 6 and 12, you wrestle not against flesh and blood. You're wrestling against the principalities in high places on the left-hand side and even on the right-hand side, right? Where we at? Matthew Let's go to Matthew 4. And he gonna even say what you should be living by, man. The words that proceed out of the mouth of the Lord. That's what's gonna keep us stand fast. That's what's gonna keep us standing straight. This is Matthew, the 4th chapter, verse 1. Then Yahushua led up of the spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil, right? If the spirit drawed him to go up to this mountain, this showed you it was pointed in the heavens that Yahushua would have to do this. So if even Yahushua got tempted, even the prophets of old got tempted, even the apostles got tempted, even some of them was going another way, and then they came to serve the Lord. What is these examples is for our learning, to build us up, to build that character of the man of the Lord, right? Verse 2, it says, and when he had fast 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward in hunger. And of course, being in hunger and in fasting, this is where you're more connected to the spirit, and the spirit on the left-hand side is going to try to bother you more, knock you off your toes. And when the tempter came to him and said, if thou be the Son of Man, command that these stones be made bread. And he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. This is what your mind, your life should consist of. The words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. When you're going through something, even when shit is good, right? In most cases, when you start your day, you try to pray to the Lord. Be sincere. Your day is going to draw you to have a conversation with the Lord, maybe read, maybe meditate on something. Most of your day is going to consist of that. Even if you playing around with your children, relaxing, somehow a conversation of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is going to come to mind. Real living is the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Those words is what gives us the stability, the awareness that we need. Right? The brother put Psalms 103 verse 20, and it reads, bless Yahweh, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. Right? And what's the voice of the Lord? The scriptures and the prophets that's bringing out his words. Even if you're reading them yourself, that's the voice of the Lord. But who's giving the understanding? Who's edifying daily on a high level, a low level, a medium level? It's the men of the Lord. Jeremiah 10 and 23. O Yahweh, I know that the way of man is not right in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. Right? If you can get Proverbs 6 and 9. It's the Lord that directs your steps. That's just like chess. The Lord is moving you. It doesn't matter if you, and for anybody in this thing, stop trying to be, oh, I want to be the elder. I want to be the top guy. If the Lord didn't set you up, stop trying to desire those things. It doesn't matter if you're a pawn, a rook, a bishop, a king, or the position of that queen that's moving in all direction. As long as you on the board being played, that's what you need to worry about. Worry about being a piece being played. Like through the spirit, you women that's married, you are on the playing board because your husband in this thing. Now, for you women that are single, you learn it under the feet of men, you in this thing. But if I know a sister that, was married to a brother, I ain't gonna say their name. They said they don't need nobody to teach them. The Lord guided them to all these scriptures. They understood this. They got guided to the name of Yahushai. But then you ask them, what's the meaning of it? They can't even tell you. But if you was guided yourself, you should know the meaning of it. The Lord is guiding us to men of the Lord by the Spirit. We just seen it. The Spirit just had Yahushai to go up to this mountain. The Spirit had Philip, an angel directed him, but then the Spirit told him to go to a chariot. Moses, when he went up to the mountain, the mountain of the Lord, Mount Sinai, the Spirit of the Lord guided him that way. When you really look at it, the Lord guided him that way. For Samson to do what he did, to date this girl and do all of that, it was all the Spirit of the Lord for the end result. Deborah, when she was so-called a judge in the book of Judges, even though a man was bringing out the words of the Lord moved her in that position. Just like Esther, for the role that she played, the Lord moved her in the spirit. When you really start learning and reading, it was all Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Everything was pointed out by the Lord in the heavens, orchestrated. Everybody is playing a role in the Lord's kingdom. The brother put Proverbs 20:24. Man's going is of the Lord. How can a man then understand his way? You can't. It's just like deja vu. Oh man, I remember this. Guess what? You probably did this in your past life. When you think of um 3 or 4 generations, that's between 3 or 4 generations is like 7 to 8. When you look at 7 generations or 8 generations, that's about 80 to 100. We've been in America for 250 years, right? The mindset that you have, whatever you was doing in your past life, even without this truth, the Lord set it up. And look where we at, 2025, and now you in this thing calling the name of the Lord. The Lord wanted you in this. That's what brothers and sisters have to look at. If you in this thing, you're not in this thing for popularity. You in this thing because the Lord wanted you in that. That should open up a lot of eyes to a lot of men and women. The Lord wanted you in this. For what reason? To serve him, to think about him, to speak about him. You got to be annoying, right? You got to be annoying. Exodus 3:3. And Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight, why the bush is not burnt. He was amazed at seeing the power of the Lord. Yo, that just hit me in my mind, right? The Lord is always doing miracles in front of our eyes. When you open up your YouTube and you connect it to certain news channels, you'll see a fire over here. It was a fire in Jerusalem last week. The Lord getting that land ready. You got wars. That all of that is the Lord. Daniel 4:17, the Lord ruleth in the kingdom of men. He giveth to whomsoever he will. If any bombs is getting dropped, that is all the Lord working for to his final plan. The final countdown. I got that from Elder Apostle Gabar, right? The Lord is making plays for the final destination, the final move. Right? Let me finish this one, right? Matthew 4:5. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, as it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee. Now this is true. Is angels on the right hand side, like we said in First King, that was said in First Kings, and his angels on the left hand side. This is a left hand side angel, a spirit, Satan, that's speaking to Yahushai. Verse 7, Yahushai said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt Yahweh Shemashai thy power. Again, the devil taketh him up unto an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world in the glory of them. Through the Spirit, Yahushai seen this kingdom, right? Because Yahushai knows all things except for when he's going to return. So this was something bigger than him just seeing the kingdom of Rome. He's seeing all the kingdoms of the earth. And through the Spirit, like when you look at the movie Lucy, where she's able to look all the way in the past, Yahushai knows all the captivities Israel been through. So when he's on that mountain, he's able to see the past, the present, and the future, right? Because that's Yahushai. You got to take that verse for more of a volume. We know that they're in a Roman captivity, right? But it's even more because if Yahushua would have did that, who's to say what would this captivity be? But Yahushua knew that the victory, the truth take away the victory. That is First Esdras, the 3rd chapter, verse 12. Women are the strongest, but the truth beareth away the victory, right? Verse 8, it says, verse 9. And saith unto him, All these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Right? And through the Spirit, this happens to the children of Israel, where if we bow down to their system, Esau would give you all the things of this world, the things that you desire in this world. But if you have a kingdom mindset, nothing on this side can truly benefit us. The car that I'm driving, the car you driving, the house that you in, the apartment I'm in, house complex you in, wherever you at, nothing on this side is compared to the same satisfaction of what the kingdom gonna come. Just live your simple life, but dedicate your life to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's the number one important thing, right? If I'm able to provide for my house, regardless if I'm not making 6 figures or if I am a millionaire or if I'm not a millionaire, just say my house, rent, bills, and all those is paid for. If all those things is good, even if I do look nice, I got a nice outfit, I'm looking fly, all of that, it is what it is. But when all these prophecies is fulfilled, all those things do not even matter. So you want to make sure the most important thing on this side that you have is a relationship with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and that you're dedicated, that you're firm on that solid foundation, right? That's the main thing you want, right? Verse 10, it says, and then Yahushai said unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. So it shows you that that from First Kings, the left-hand side spirit was meant, his role, his purpose was to do that. And then the right-hand side, their role was to come down and minister unto Yahushai. I'm going to read this in the GNT, right? This is Sirach, the 39th chapter, verse 21. This is Sirach, chapter 39, verse 21. It says, no one should ask why things are as they are. Everything in creation has its purpose. Yahushai was created, the angels was created, and guess what? They all have a purpose. So you have left-hand side spirits that are created to test the faithful. Right? You 2/3, the ones that don't have faith, the ones that are wicked, the ones that are consumed, the left-hand side consumed you. You're already in their hands. The right side was constantly trying to feed you because there's no excuses. Throughout all the Israelite history, the right-hand side, the angels, and through the men of the Lord been feeding you. You just been ignoring it. Some of y'all y'all tasted this knowledge and you walked away from it. It's all Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? So now you get to understand that it's angels set up to come against Yahushai. Guess what? When Yahushai come on the earth to fight, those spirits on the left-hand side was created to fight against Yahushai. And in righteousness, in the spirit, they're actually obeying the Lord. Literally. Right? They were set up, man. Yo, look, in the end, y'all gonna have to fight me. And I need you to give it the best. You've seen what we read in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter. It said 1 Corinthians 15, verse 58, even though this is dealing with us, even the angels is doing their best, right? It says, therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters, be standfast, immovable, always excelling in the work of the Lord. Just through the Spirit, all the angels of the Lord are excelling in the work of the Lord. Hey, if you outside and you see a chariot, that was his work for you to see him. What if I'm down the street and it's coming my direction and then it just goes light speed and then I can't even see it because it was meant for you to see it? He was hey, look, when you flying, I need you to make sure that you let this person see you, right? It says, always doing your best and doing more than is needed, being continually aware that your labor, even to the point of exhaustion, in the Lord is not futile nor wasted. It is never without purpose, right? Everything that the angels do in the heavens, things that's done on the earth, it is all done for a purpose. Everybody is working out their purpose, even if you don't even know it, right? If you're not in this truth, you still walking in the purpose of the Lord and don't even know it. The brother dropped Jeremiah 1:5. It says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations, right? And that goes for any role in this thing. You were already ordained from the heavens on what role you was going to play. That's even more why we should cleave unto the Lord, because he knows your ins and outs. He know how long you're going to be in this thing. He know if he going to take you out of this thing. That's why you should be praying to him that he don't remove you. You should be asking the Lord, hey, move me in the direction you want me to move, because it's all of the Lord, right? He put us, St. John 6:44, no man can come to me except the Father which have sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last days. Yo, you want the spirits on the right hand side to guide you to Yahushai. That means the Heavenly Father is drawing you to the Son. The Lord loved his son so much, he's jealous for his son. That's his son. That's his favorite son. That's his favorite creation because it was the first one, right? It's a privilege to be of the elect, from the 144,000 down, from the elect lady to the elect child. It is a privilege, right? Mark 3:35. Whoever do the will of my Father is my brother, mother, and sister. He said he laid down his life for his friends. Even though it was for the nation of Israel, only his friends is going to benefit on this side. It's a privilege to know Yahweh Shai died for us. It's a privilege to know that the Lord made this spiritual house. That's what we're going in today, right? For camp. This is a spiritual house, and we should be taking this profession seriously, you know? And even more, like when you doing a lesson, it doesn't matter if you just got done playing the game and then you pause and you like, wait, hold on. I would just listen to this video, man. And then you stop and you did a lesson, right? You want to teach this word with a passion because you have to know on the other side, somebody's going to take this, right? It's going to either be somebody that's going to take it for the wrong, and it's going to be somebody that is of the elect that's going to take it to nourish them, to build them up. When you delivering this word, take it serious. Your actions, make sure that it doesn't bring any blame to this ministry. You have to know that you are the example of this movie. This is a movie. Play your fucking role the way it was scripted. Right? And if anybody that's an actor wants to have the main role, I don't care who anybody think, oh no, but no, you want to have the main character. Even though we ain't trying to boast or be big-headed, you really want the best position in this movie. And it's really the elect. Even Esau has the best position. And some of you other nations that's part of the round elite table, right? Those are the elites. They have a main character. They have a main position. You 2/3, you have a main role. Your main role is to be a 2/3, and some of y'all have different roles of coming against the ministry. Some of y'all not caring about the ministry. Some of y'all are part of the world of the wicked, of luring people away from speaking about the Lord, naked, like, and through the spirit, you're against the ministry and don't even know it. It's so many characters, but then you got niggas in La La Land. You are background characters. Everybody playing a role and don't even know it. Everybody is playing a role and don't know it. And through the spirit, we in competition. The 2/3 is trying to outdo the elect on this side. And then the wicked of Esau is trying to outdo their own people in their own nation. Everybody trying to outdo somebody in their role. trying to have the best role. I'm Denzel. I'm Samuel Jackson. I'm Morgan Freeman. Everybody trying to outplay everybody. But the ones that's going to take it and that's going to do the best, the truth take away the victory. The elect, the true worshipers are the best actors in this thing, right? 1 Peter 2:8, it says, in a stone of stumbling, in a rock of offense, even to them which stumble at the word, being disobedient, whereunto also they were appointed, right? And that rock is Yahweh Shai. A lot of people is stubbing their toe. Some people can't get it. Some people bumping against it. Guess what? They're stubbing their toe, right? Yahweh Shai was a stone of stumbling, a rock of offense. People get offended a spirit of Yahweh Shai. How brothers got ready, got to answer with precepts, or brothers is diligent, right? It's people created to be against that stone, right? Mark 4:15, it says, these are they by the wayside where the word is sown, but when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts, right? And this happened daily, right? You get done with camp and Satan is already feeding your ear, or it could be a plague in your mind, right? You have to know the spirits have a job to always intervene with this ministry. Oh, no. We can't let that one get it. We can't let that one. They're in a mission. That's just like the righteous angels. When you wake up on fire, ready to pray to the Lord, ready to exalt him, what do you think that is? That's the spirit on the right-hand side, right? Verse 16, it says, and these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time afterward, when affections or persecution ariseth for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. And it's like the dude that just got removed from Great Millstone, right? He got offended. You got multiple people that get offended at this truth, and it's really the Lord removing you. The Lord don't need you, right? It's spirits out here. This man yelling, walking down the street to himself. You know, this truth is not made for everybody. It's not attractive. This truth wasn't made to be attractive for everybody. It's only attractive to the elect, right? You have to be on solid ground when it comes to this ministry, man. The Lord is the one that set you up in this thing. What did I want? You got to be sure in this thing. And there's other accounts where, you know, people is going into prison just for this faith. When people getting stoned for this faith, right? I could go probably bring it out. I don't see none of the brothers except for Dave. Let's bring out, let's look at Stephen, right? This is Acts, the 7th chapter, verse 51. He said, ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in heart and ears, ye do always resist the Rakakwadash as your fathers did, so do ye. Which of the prophets have not your fathers persecuted, and they have slain them which showed before of the coming of the just one, of whom ye have been now the betrayers and murderers, right? So like I'm trying to look at something. Right? It was people for a time even prophesying about Yahushua coming. People was persecuting Yahushua. When people were prophesying of the coming destruction or another nation gonna get you, you're gonna be in captivity. People were set up to bump against this truth. Right? It says, who have received the law by the disposition of angels and have not kept it. When they heard these things, they were cut to the heart, and they gashed on him with their teeth. But he, being full of the Rakakwadash, looked up, stand fast into heaven, saw the glory of God, and Yahushua standing on the right hand of God, and said, behold, I see the heavens opened, and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of God. Then they cried out with a loud voice, and stopped their ears, and ran upon him with one accord, and cast him out of the city, and stoned him. And the witnesses laid down their clothes at the young man's foot, whose name was Saul. Look, man's going to the Lord. It's beautiful how the Lord, while they doing this, who's going to be somebody that's going to get suffer for this ministry is right there with the men that's stoning a man of the Lord. And that's a lot of us. We be in certain things, and then a year later, weeks later, maybe years later, now you're going to be in this thing serving the Lord. We're all filthy rags. Look where we come from. Even your past life before this ministry was even established, you was on the earth again. The Lord brought you back under the sun. You still getting afflicted, like, because the righteous is in captivity with the wicked. All Israel had to suffer, not just the wicked, Jake, even the righteous. Then we all got to come back in this weak ass flesh. We all got to come back and be retaught this truth. This right here is hell, where you got to come back in this flesh. You don't know nothing in your past. You got to reread it again. You got to Lord willing, this program into you to believe. You got to do it all over again, right? Verse 59, it says, they stoned Stephen, calling upon God, saying, Lord Yahweh shall receive my spirit. And he knelt down and cried with a loud voice, Lord, lay not this sin to their charge. And when he had said this, he fell asleep, right? He probably didn't even feel it. But even in that moment, while he getting afflicted through the spirit, he was able to see Yahweh sin on the right hand of the Father. I hope when, these things happen to me, please allow me to see you. I want to desire these things. Only the elect, the true elect, desire to be a part of the Lord's ministry, to be an example of whatever the Lord has established for the elect. I'm going to read these verses and I'll see the brothers pull it up. This is Matthew 24, verse 9. It says, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gates, and turn aside the just for the thing of naught. Right? Again, that make a man offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gates. And this is who we is, right? We're the reprovers at the gate, right? The gate or the door to the 12 tribes of Israel, man. That even goes into your profession. You brothers is keeping guard. You brothers is keeping watch. You trying to keep everything tight, everything organized for the elect's sake, really for Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? You're keepers of his sheep. You're held accountable. Isaiah 29:21, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. 1 Thessalonians 3:3, that no man should be moved by these affliction, for yourselves know that we are appointed thereunto, right? And that's really the elect, right? The sincere men are not going to be moved, right? That no man should be moved by these afflictions. Stephen was the example, right? Azariah, Mishael, and Hananiah was the example. They didn't get moved. Just because we didn't bow down to this guy, guess what? Our Lord is going to save us from whatever you do. Even if he don't, we still ain't going to serve him. That's the mindset you got to have now, because this MOTB going to come. You want to say, Lord willing. But how things is looking for yourself, I'm not serving this shit on this side. Guess what? All you get is a Happy Meal and one toy, and then it break a week later. You don't get shit from these nations. You don't get nothing from this world. You know, nothing on this side can stable you or stimulate you in the level that Yahweh Shem Yahushai can or has done. I see how Claudia said, I am in captivity in Babylon. You are mother sucking right, and I'm here with you. People say, oh man, y'all scared shitless. You worried about nukes. That's a fairy tale. You think nukes is gonna come here? Hell yeah, we believe nukes is coming here. Hell yeah, we're afraid of it, because if we're the 2/3, we're gonna feel that nuke. Oh, brother, even if you feel the nuke, you're going to transcend into something new, right? Yeah, that's later on, but you're going to find out that you had a chance to listen and hearken to this truth, and then you chose not to. You're going to know your role was to go off from the Lord. You don't want to go out. That most people in this world want to go out with a bang. It was this old dude I watched last night, and I'm going to end the video, where I think he was on his deathbed. So I guess some of his family members bought him a stripper, and he was twerking for her. They said, we want our grandpa to go out with a bang. The elect going out with a bang. Saying it, stand fast and unmovable, being willing to get their head cut off, dying for this thing, right? Suffer for this thing, maybe not to eat, to get translated, to get exalted. Look at the picture before you hit this live, right? Those that humble themselves shall be exalted. Be exalted at the end. Don't try to be exalted now, because you're going to get be exalted by men, get praise of men. You want to get exalted and praised or uplifted by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? We're in a different setup. Jeremiah 50:14, put yourselves in array against Babylon around about, all ye that bend the bow and shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? Press the button, right? But you got to double up your faith, right? Because you're man, you got to double up your faith. Be firm in this thing. Be committed to this thing. This is a relationship. This is a marriage. You are married to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Take your vows serious. Through the Spirit, you signed vows that you was going to give your life for this, that you was going to be dedicated, that you was going to be sure, right? Lord willing, this is edifying, straight to the point. I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, the water Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for allowing us to be edified. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, teach well through the Spirit, and a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit. Shalom, Ba'ad Shalom.